Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's TheSketchMonkey here. Well, here it is guys, the new Volkswagen Golf R. 315 horsepower, 27 more than the outgoing model and 310 pound-feet of torque. Thanks to the standard 4Motion all-wheel drive, the Golf R goes from 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds and onto a limited top speed of 155 miles per hour. Not bad, not exceptional either. It's what we expect from a top version Golf, I would say. But here's the thing, I'm really excited that this car specifically is coming to the US because we need more cars like this that is not a truck or an SUV. More fun cars to admire and appreciate while we're stopped at a red light. By the way, today I'm wearing my E30 Doodle Collection t-shirt. Go check it out in the link below. This car, the Golf R, will go on sale here in the US as a 2022 model during the second half of 2021. And the price expected to land somewhere around $45,000. As with all the previous 5 generations of the Golf R, this 2022 Golf R features permanent all-wheel drive and a distinct, more aggressive exterior. You have, for example, a completely new front bumper and splitter with R-specific air intake grills. This is what we're going to go into detail on later on in this video because there are a couple of things, basically one thing that I want to maybe tweak a little bit, but we're going to talk more about that in just a minute. At the top of the radiator grille, there is this LED strip stretching all the way across the whole front of the car, acting as the daytime running lights. It looks pretty cool, but it also reminds me a lot of the Kia Seltos. Now, some of the design features that separates the R from a regular old Golf TDI are, for example, the 19-inch wheels, side skirts, matte chrome exterior mirror caps that projects the R logo onto the road when the door is open or closed. On top of that, we need to have some sort of better handling and better performance of the car. So the R has been lowered by 0.8 of an inch compared to the standard production model. You also have blue brake calipers with the R logo on the front calipers. And in the back, this is the view I like the most about this car, is the back. I'm going to talk more about this when we jump into Photoshop. But there is a new rear bumper which now incorporates a high gloss black diffuser framed at the side by chrome-plated twin tailpipes for the standard Akrapovic exhaust system. And to top it off, the roof spoiler at the top ensures a necessary level of downforce at high speeds. And I think this looks fantastic from the rear view right here. Basically, when you talk about what's been added to the R model, it's pretty much a standard starter kit for turning a standard production model into a sporty one. So what about the colors? We know that the colors are very specific when it comes to the R model, and this, the 2022 model, comes in 3 colors. You have the Lapis Blue Metallic, you have the Pure White, or the Deep Black Pearl effect. However, if you get it in any color other than the Lapis Blue, you're wrong. But now what I want to do is jump into Photoshop and talk about the design of this and look back at some of the previous models and also my favorite Golf of all time, the R32. Alright guys, so here we are inside of Photoshop as usual, and this is of course the 2022 Golf R from a front view. We're going to talk about all the views, front, side, and rear, and I'm going to talk about the design, of course, of this car. So to me, this is a typical Volkswagen design. I've said this before, but when I was studying car design in Italy, we had projects with Audi, Volkswagen, Lamborghini, and Volkswagen came in with a booklet this thick with rules on how to design a Volkswagen. And you need to follow these rules. You can't go crazy and be this mad designer coming out with some weird stuff and show it to the management of Volkswagen. They're not gonna approve it unless you follow those guidelines. And you can definitely see those guidelines here. The big kind of philosophy of Volkswagen is that every single line, every single design feature needs to have a specific purpose or it shouldn't be on the car. And you can see just how stripped down this car is. It is a beautiful looking car, and it's not easy to create a beautiful looking hatchback because you have this, the only long lines that you have are these lines right here, the shoulder line of course, and then the bottom line, the base line, which I normally don't count because it is the base line. It's not really in the body of the car, But the thing with hatchbacks is that this shoulder line, it ends so abruptly. All the lines come to an end right here. So it's very hard to create something smooth and organic and beautiful in this area of hatchbacks. But I think Volkswagen has done a really good job here with the Golf. And that has to do with the strict design rules of Volkswagen. For example, you have a very sharp, almost double shoulder line right here, which emphasizes the length of the car and makes it look bigger than what it actually is. And there is not much styling going on in the body of the car like we have from South Korean brands such as Kia, Hyundai, and so on. They'd like to go crazy with a lot of lines going here and maybe something like that. But Volkswagen is not about that type of styling. They want to keep it very clean, and that's what I like about Volkswagen. I'm glad they stick with this type of design. What I'm going to come back to in the end of this video is I want to talk more about this front, and I want to make a slight change. I'm also going to justify that change and put some arguments for why I want to make this change. That's the thing. I don't want to just add some changes or modify some cars without explaining why I'm doing it. That's one of the most annoying things I can think about. Someone coming in and just smacking a bunch of changes onto the car because it looks good. It needs to have some purpose behind it, and that's what I'm going to talk to later in the video. So let's look at the side view here. Looking at the Golf throughout the generations, one thing that they all have in common is this section right here. You see this line that goes like this. This is typical Golf with a thick C-pillar that goes into the door, and in the rear you have it being part of the graphics of the rear light right there. And this is a good line. It creates almost a forward motion, and it really makes the hatchback look like a good hatchback, especially when you combine this with this now massive roof spoiler that they definitely extended over the years and made even bigger than before. However, all Golf Rs throughout the generations have all been 5-door Golfs. Now, my personal favorite Golf of them all is the 2002, I believe, might be 2001, I'm pretty sure it's 2002, Golf R32. To me, that is the ultimate Golf. The color, it came in silver or blue, I believe. I know it came in silver or blue. I think those were the only colors. But you gotta get it in blue with those multi-spoke wheels. It's such a beautiful design, and it looks so planted, like a little toy, a little aggressive toy you have driving around. To me, it just looks right. It has the right amount of addedness to the R32 compared to the regular Golf of the time. And that traditional styling of the Golf, that's the one I grew up with as a kid. And when that R32 came out, it was the coolest car you could ever get. That was sort of attainable. You could feel that if you work really hard, you might one day be able to afford an R32. And the thing with R32 is that it was 2-door, and I always think the 2-door Golfs look a lot better than the 4-doors. But here, they did a really good job of incorporating these rear set of doors into the body of the car, not making it look like they're not supposed to be there, which usually happens when you have 4 doors on a small car like this. But Volkswagen, I think, overall did a very good job with the design of the Golf R. Now, let's go to the money shot of this car, and that is this angle right here. It's just a beautiful car looking at it from this angle. Very tight, almost, you can see that it's so chiseled, and all the lines, you have a nice line flow here from the shoulder line going around here, creating the top part of the graphics of the headlights very beautifully. And then of course you have the traditional Golf line right there. Then of course you have the base line as well, which also wraps all around the car, which you can see right here going into the front bumper, which is something we're going to talk about here and how they improved it over the regular GTI. But to me, this is the best angle for this car. There's no nonsense in the styling. There's a lot of horizontal lines here, very typical Volkswagen. Not a lot of ups and down in the diffuser, for example. We don't have something that goes something like this. It's very simple, it's very clean. You can even see the diffuser, just 4 diffusers down there, 4 separate inlays in the diffuser. Very simplistic with 2 exhausts on each side. Super clean, I like it a lot, and this is, as I said, the best angle for this car. Now let's have a look at the front bumper and what they did compared to the 2021 Golf GTI, which is a car that I really am not a fan of the way it looks in the front end. Specifically, it only has to do with the front bumper right here, because you can see this mustache here. I don't like this black part. Let's make it in blue so you can see it. This black part right here, it's just one of these things that they just added onto the car, a plastic piece that added onto the car that has no function whatsoever. And to me, that is not what Volkswagen is about. So compare this to the R here, and this is a lot more clean, a lot more functional, and it seems like the front bumper here has a purpose, whereas for the GTI it's more just random styling for the sake of having some more things added onto the front end. The same goes for these fog lights down here. I'm not a fan of those either because they clash so much with everything else graphically on this car. They just seem to be so out of place, and I just want to highlight that I think the transition from the Golf GTI front bumper to the Golf R bumper, it's a small difference, but I think it makes a huge impact on the design, the overall design of the car, because now this front bumper here looks like it's actually part of the rest of the car. Now, coming back to the front view here, there's something I want to talk about here and something I want to play around with, change a little bit. You see the angle on the front face here, on the face of the car? It's very sloped here. It's almost flat if you look at it from this view. Specifically, when you look at the angles of these LEDs in here, it looks like it's facing upwards and going too fast, like it's about to snap its neck or something. But I want to do is tilt it down forward and make it more aggressive, because it is a Golf R here. So aggressive will fit the front face of the car and have it be more purposeful and make it more of a front instead of having the face lifted up like this. So I'm gonna try and do that with just a simple liquify change. It's going to take probably 2 or 3 minutes to do this. I'm gonna do it in real time. So this is the liquify tool, and this is a tool that I love to do. It's so easy to manipulate photos using this tool. So what I want to do basically is to create more of a vertical front end. Instead of having it be so slippery, I want to have it be more defined in the front, more upright, and just have it be more forward facing, if that makes sense. So just a few tiny changes here, and let's see how this is going to turn out. All right, so here we go. This is the before, and then just a tiny little tweak on the front end to make it more upright, and we have it like this. I think this gives it more of a face and not so much of a slope, where everything sits on the slope of the graphic features. They kind of sit integrated in the slope. I want to have it be more vertical and more of a front-facing surface. Yes, you might call it nitpicking, but that's what this channel is all about. So what are my final thoughts on the Golf R? I think it's a beautiful looking car. I think Volkswagen did a fantastic job with this design, and I'm happy to see that they actually redesigned it in a perfect way, in my opinion, from the Golf GTI, specifically when it comes to the front bumper that has a little tiny GTI mustaches on the side that doesn't make sense. So this looks a lot better. It looks just aggressive enough, but it's not overstyled. There are no fake intakes that you need to add just because it has an R on the body of the car. Just keep it simple, add the parts that will improve the performance, and of course lowering it by 0.8 of an inch helps with the handling and performance as well. So they did the necessary changes, but if you're going to buy this car, don't forget you need to get it in blue.